Hey there, it's Enderverse. This is going to be our first Vanilla Plus episode of mods for 2026. I made sure to make it memorable, with many beautiful and essential mods that will improve your mod pack while remaining similar to the base game. Now without any further ado, let's dive into the video. Let's begin with Immersive Enchanting, a mod that introduced a fabulous yet natural overhaul to enchanting your gear on Minecraft. This new system is all about exploration. Rather than collecting XP in a stationary manner, you know how to go out and discover enchanting scriptures hidden deep within ancient temples. Bookshelves are also no longer needed. You will instead want to place the chiseled variants. This way we can insert the ancient scriptures in there. Akin to the original lore, you now have to literally find and study old books to understand how to improve certain aspects of your gear, and you level up with items. Every level requires a specific item, so you can kiss goodbye to automation. I see this new system as the best option for the community right now. It will grant you a long-term enjoyment, as you will have to scout for both the scriptures themselves and the items necessary to level up. Should you find the process tiresome, you can always loosen it up by configuring the mod not to require scriptures. This way you enchant right away using items only. The author has also made it so that XP isn't necessary to enchant, but it's still necessary to repair. They also went ahead and balanced the mod by removing the mending enchantment. You can, of course, re-enable anything you want in the settings. Try this mod out for your next 2 weeks phase server. Add in a few other projects on this very list and you may just end up with a 2 months phase. Waxed and Shiny is all about candles and the raw material, wax. You get wax simply from stripping a honeycomb from its honey, making it a regular comb. Then you cook that comb on a furnace and you will get the wax. The wax's usage is mainly aesthetic. You get a fairer type of candles, as well as a huge candle pillar that you can attach a wick on top and light up. There are so many candle variants, each with their own unique flame colors and textures. The mod even adds mod support for projects like Dye Depot amongst a few more, so don't hesitate to include it in your mod pack, my friend. It will level up your light aesthetics quite a bit. Functionality is a powerhouse of a mod. From its many features, there are simple vanilla tweaks like milking glowing squids for night vision potions, using music discs as shurikens to repel enemies, and even setting up a special ritual for summoning thunderstorms. Vanilla tweaks aside, there is also some original content. Crazy things like a chunk keeper which will allow spawners to continue functioning even when you are not around, some aquatic features like fish traps which will catch food and some sea treasures, an Nautilus bucket that will help you make lakes very easily, and a harpoon for enhanced underwater combat. From the sea we move on to the lava, where the author added obsidian fins as well as Infernal gear that will help you swim and survive under the lava. There's even an obsidian boat for faster navigation. Finally, I'll talk about herbs. There are some extremely useful consumables like the phantom herbs which disables the phantoms, and the glow herb which negates the levitation effect and even the void damage, making it a must-have when exploring the end. I like the mod, but I have a few suggestions for the author. First one is to explain how the altar works. The wiki says it needs copper blocks, but no matter what I do, it simply never works. Also, fix the crashes that occur with the dummy mod as well as VFX mods like particulate and particle interactions. Infernal expansion Redux came in to revive this good old mod. This project did lack some of the original features like the basalt giant, but the main biome is here. A flaming desert with upside down trees, plenty of interactable plants, and what seems to be a nether portal. But I'm sure it's for something else because water don't work on the nether. Although not complete, the mod did add some critters like the glowsquito, the voline, and the blind sight. You can interact with some of them like the voline, and there is an immersive brain predator play between the glowsquito and the blind sight. There's also plenty of food sources, but I'm focusing on the Zeus in particular since they can give you a boost jump effect. Plenty helpful when navigating the basalt deltas amongst other rocky terrains. I'm glad this mod was updated, although unofficially this update provided refined animations as well as better performance in regards to the wall generation. One of the best Vanilla Plus mod packs I know is Homstead, a fairly bulky project with many visual and functional features to enjoy, my friend. To install said mod pack as a server, it takes literally one click, all thanks to Pine hosting. And with my code Ender, you could reduce the price from say $24 to a little over $16. That's a whopping 30% off. The servers here never shut down, and the performance is bar smooth thanks to the high-end CPUs, fast storage units, and good DDR5 RAM. And all of this in spite of the Armageddon going on right now. The support here is honestly the best. Your answer arrives in seconds and the person talking to you actually knows the ins and outs of Minecraft and the Minecraft modding scene, not just some annoying AI bot. Being a North African gamer, I usually struggle to find servers that are near my location. With Pine hosting, many locations are covered and you are guaranteed to get stable ping. You can even get as low as 0 ping on European and American locations. You can also transfer your server from other server providers with all of its files, settings and whatnot to Pine hosting. This way you start anew and with a nice 30% discount for your first order. By using Pine hosting, you support the channel and help me continue working full time on the modding scene. Thanks in advance, my friend, and let's go back to the video. Up next we have Good Ending. This mod released as far back as the Wilder Wild update. The author's intention from this mod is to improve upon this release and deliver on the promises Mojang has failed. The birch forests look magnificent now, with tree barks, flower pads, and all sorts of new types of vegetation to improve this place and make it wilder. The swamps have also seen a noticeable improvement. There's even a new similar biome called the Marshlands, complete with its own wood sets and dedicated atmosphere too. There's also a reworked swamp head that incorporates more blocks as well as having some interesting stuff inside. In regards to the failed promises, the authors introduced fireflies. They glow beautifully during nighttime and can be bottled for lighting as well as keeping the mobs from spawning on a much wider radius than regular lanterns. Another creature added was the woodpecker. This bird is beautifully animated and wraps up the content of the mod like a Christmas gift. After 2 whole years, this mod was recently updated to support newer versions as well as adding extra features for you to discover, my friend. Let's do Lili's Pottery adds a new type of clay to the world, coming in different colors and textures. Not just that, there is also a new system for pottery, as you can use 2 new workstations. One will help you shape the clay into different beautiful pots, the other will allow you to burn distinct textures into them. The new pots are just magnificent. You can recolor them and there are even new block types too, so this mod will be an excellent choice for builders. Hominid is a mob expansion mod. Amongst the many new mobs it's added, there is the Millified, a zombie covered in honey. This mob will follow you with good intentions. Even when you hit it, it returns the bad with good, applying the honey effect which regenerates your health and gives you temporary immunity. However, the incendiary isn't the chargeable type. This mob sets itself on fire before charging at you and incinerating you. Killing it will give you a gasoline tank which you can use as fuel to cook. Famished is perhaps the most terrifying of all. This monster will eat the skin of the horse, then eat its meat, leaving it as a skeleton horse. Though it's not too merciful with the other mobs, as it swallows them whole instead. And the final example I have for you boys is the Fossilized. This is a paper thin zombie which you can brush up for a unique armor trim. Though bear in mind you will need to endure some high damage projectiles before you get close to it. This is a very fun mod to try. And the best part yet is that the author added a texture pack which you can apply to make all hostile mobs look consistent with one another. Hearth and Harvest is a very special Farmer's Delight add-on. It has a fine mixture of in-house and into the wild content. Wild fruits such as blueberries, raspberries, and wild grapes can be found in the forest. They can be used to brew the wine, so make sure you replant them on your field when you go back home. In addition, marshmallows can be roasted if you are sitting near a campfire, and salt can be extracted from any type of water. Both will help enforce the nomadic playstyle even further. In regards to domestic farming, there are some helpful features like the ability to milk goats, as well as increased babies when breeding pigs and rabbits. There's also a Pungen's Potion and a Champion Potion. The former will repel mobs, the latter will attract them, which will ease cattle transportation should you want to relocate your animals. This is one of the best add-ons I've ever tried in a while. It adds so many features you would easily mistake it for a full-blown mod. Bits and Balance, similar to functionality, is a powerhouse of a vanilla plus mod. The mod began by enhancing basic things about the game like the textures of the ores, as well as adding a full Azalea wood set, allowing for higher creativity with more building colors and textures. New potions have also been introduced. The Displacement Potion will randomly teleport you around 100 block radius. Brewed into Splash Potions, this effect can save you by shipping away hordes of mobs at once. The Resurfacing Potion will teleport you right to the surface, but sadly it doesn't work as a lifesaver from fall damage. Finally, there are Haste and Levitation Potions. Those effects already existed in the game, but you were never able to brew and use them anywhere like in this mod. Movement has also been enhanced. You can now crawl at will without the need for a trapdoor. The recovery compass was also enhanced and now displays the exact coordinates of your death as well as the exact amount of blocks left to get there. The author also touched on mobs, nerfing some like the creepers that will now burn during the daytime, as well as empowering some like the phantoms which can now pick you up and throw you to your oblivion. There are more other map focused features to try out. The ones I mentioned are just the most interesting in my opinion. This mod is very heavy with features, but as you saw, there is very little new content. All features are based around the vanilla game, which means better performance on servers and more immersion on the base game. Before we move on, there is this thing I'd like to point out for the author. Leashed mobs are supposed to teleport with you, but for some reason they don't. Also, the transition takes a huge amount of time. I hope the author works on fixing those issues. Archeological is a mod surrounding the Trails and Tales update, but only on concept. The actual content is far from anything we've ever seen on Minecraft. The start of the mod begins on the archaeology table, where you can duplicate materials like aged bricks as well as renewing ancient tools such as tridents, axes and arrows. There are also so many different decorative blocks, things like statues, petroglyphs, pots and so much more. The mod doesn't add any functional features as far as I'm concerned. The items you can find are only good as you refurbish them on the archaeology table, but it is part of its goal to focus more on the excavation and the fun of the activity rather than just the items you'll obtain. It also makes it a very good fit for this video too. Biodiverse is a mod that adds a lot of new animals with different species to Minecraft. Props to the author for the good work regarding the animations and the textures. Similar to Alex's mobs, there is an emphasis on functionality over animations. Some of these animals will give you different new effects when you approach them, some you can interact with, and a few you can even tame, like lions. There is a boatload of features relating to each and every animal here, making this mod one way to populate and enliven every corner of your world, my friend. This is a fairly popular mod which fills holes. This functionality will work on natural holes found on the terrain as well as holes from creeper explosions. Though sadly the insurance doesn't cover houses. Though frustration and the rebuilding of houses is a natural part of Minecraft, something we've all gone through, so it would be wise to keep it in my opinion. Verdant adds a lot of new plants growing in specific biomes. My favorite flowers here were the cattails and the duckweeds on the swamps, but I also enjoyed the vines spreading to the floor and the dogwood growing on the taiga. My suggestion for the author going forward is to add special tunics or potions that the player could use to gain different effects or negate others. This will achieve the real life use of flora and will add more incentive for people to scout for these flowers. Traveler tool builds are new items which will allow you to quickly access any of your tools. With a single hotkey, you can pull up this wheel which lists all of your tools. You can then quickly choose your desired tool and have it equipped on the go. Based on the material of the tool build, you can have as many as 9 different tools in a single tool build. And you don't even have to wear it. Just have it on your inventory and it will function as intended. We've all tried the tool belt mod by GigaHertz, but the extra here is the fabric support as well as the better GUI. Though GigaHertz's mod does have a better 3D model when wearing the belt. So at the end of the day, it will be a matter of preference. Up next we have MoreGolems. This mod adds 3 more columns you can construct to further safeguard your town. First and the easiest column to build is the cactus column. It deals damage when you get in contact with it and can be sheared for cactus spine, which can be crafted into darts to shoot. The cactus column is extremely powerful. They can defeat even Vindicators, so it will overcompensate for its building material. The golden column is a little more expensive, but it's worth it nonetheless. It can remotely stun enemies and its hit can leave you with only 2 or 3 hearts. So you better be on its good side. And the final golem on this mod is the castle golem. This is a brick wall of a golem. It remains stagnant until it senses enemies. One attack from the castle golem can annihilate an army of mobs, and it has as much health as an ender dragon, so it will be an impervious line of defense. Golems aside, you may also craft new weapons. There is a sword which regenerates and strengthens itself after each hit, as well as a shield that is more durable and stronger. This project is quite new, so expect more golems to be implemented in the future. This mod aims to add a lot of content, be it items, mobs, and new structures to enhance exploration on the game. The mobs added here are quite special in that they inflict different weakening effects. They also feature nice models and have varying attacking styles based on their nature. The author also added a few bosses and mini bosses you can come across. While the concepts of these bosses are great, the implementation needs some serious rework. The bosses' attacks and animations are a bit lacking. But that aside, there are many new biomes across the end and the overworld, as well as many new temples, each with their own unique residents and loot. And speaking of which, the items you can obtain on this project are rad, especially the weapons. There are bows that shoot fireballs, items that release the Warden Sonic Boom, and the Vindicator Fangs too. Lastly, I would like to talk about the blocks. The authors have designed tens of new block types, all originating from vanilla blocks, making this mod impossible to ignore given the nature of this list. Satchels are new items you can easily craft with 2 pieces of leather, 1 iron ingot, and 1 string. These satchels can store 3 slots that can hold up to 16 items each. What separates them from bundles, you may ask? Well, their utility. These satchels can be opened on the go, and you could check each one of the items or tools you want to pull out. This can be done either directly on your inventory or when you are holding one of the satchels. For better utility and better visuals, I recommend you give this mod a try. You will find it a lot more serviceable than the vanilla bundles. BGUI is a mod that shows you how many bees are in a given beehive, as well as how much honey the bees have produced so far. This mod will be exceptional for people farming honey on Minecraft, and it's a very small client-sided mod that you would lose nothing by adding your own. Saro's Better Glass is a mod that enhances glass interactions on Minecraft. Arrows can now shoot through glass, breaking it and continuing their trajectory. When the glass is broken, it shatters into small glass shards, and while stepping on them is harmless, the entity below the broken glass receives some damage. The only issue I'd like to point out for the author is how the anvils don't break the glass. On the mod page, it says it does. And finally, we have the Repair Station. This is a block which will help you repair items using flint. It takes an awfully long amount of time, but it is a small price for the amount of raw materials you'll be saving, especially with the netherite gear. You could still use mending, but if you want to fully utilize this mod, I would recommend mixing it with our first mod on the list. New animals, new villager types, new golem types, and 40 more Vanilla Plus mods were showcased on past episodes, so be sure to check them out. Subscribe and turn on the bell if you'd like to keep up with my series, and get a server over at Pine Hosting if any of these videos sparked a modpack idea on your mind. You support me and get a 30% off your first order. Win-win. Now see ya in the next one, my friend.